They say the happiest days of a boat owner's life are the day that he buys it and the day that he sells it. The unhappiest? The day it gets stuck and you have no idea where to go from there. Among the driftwood and seaweed along the rocky Edmonds coastline sits a problem.
That's a bad day. That's an expensive day.
Leaning on its mast, keel in the sand, and a hole in its hull, this sailboat's been stranded here since July 5th.
How could I let this happen?
Owner Todd Herman was gifted the boat by a relative. Now it hangs like an anchor around his neck. He says he anchored the boat 50 yards offshore, but a high tide followed by a record low tide sent it into the rocks. Todd takes responsibility.
It's just a matter of not checking the tide charts the next day. And I was not expecting a record low tide for this to happen.
Todd says he's called the city, the county, the Coast Guard for guidance and hasn't gotten any. He was told the boat is technically on BNSF railroad property, but hasn't heard anything from them. But most discouraging for Todd is the lack of support he's felt from the sailing community.
I can't get anybody to help. Nobody. I don't understand it.
The boat was also looted of its electronics and fishing gear. If it starts to leak diesel fuel, Todd will likely face hefty fines.
Leak diesel fuel on the coast, and now you've endangered all this precious wildlife. I feel sorry for this guy.
Man, you don't see that every day.
But one man's misery is another man's muse. Artist Rowan Carey finding inspiration in the wreckage.
It's very bittersweet. The whole scene is bittersweet because it just looks so cool, but it has a sad story behind it, you know?
It's especially bittersweet for Todd, who planned to use the boat as a way to honor his late father, who taught him to sail as a young man. His hopes sinking.
This isn't the way to honor him. Not by a long shot.
BNSF is trying to determine whether the boat is actually on its property. If it is, it will work with the Coast Guard to figure out next steps. If it isn't, who knows? In Edmonds, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.